sun still shows up on time. Traffic hums, the coffee's hot. People laugh like nothing broke, like you weren't my everything I lost. Your chair still faces the window, your name still lives in my phone. Every day feels counterfeit since the night I came home alone. They say time's a healer, but it just sharpens the edge. I'm learning how to breathe again without learning how to forget. The world keeps turning without you, like you never left a scar. But I carry the weight of a lifetime in the space of where you are. The hurt don't fade, it just changes shape, plays back like an old refrain. I don't move on, I just move through the same damn moment on replay. Your voice still echoes in my head in grocery aisles and midnight drive.
Happy Thursday, everybody. My name is 12 Gauge. Welcome to my channel, 12 Gauge Investigative. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for being here. I'm trying to give it a new, updated look. So tonight we're going to cover a couple topics. We're going to be talking, obviously, on the Minneapolis ICE situation that's going on up there. As I reported earlier, on the short that I uploaded, there is extreme tension, and seems to be a divided opinion about what actually happened yesterday. So before we do that, let's start with the crime of the day. Here we go.
This is video coming in out of Salt Lake City, Utah, as an investigation is underway, and investigators looking for tips here after they say 2 people were killed, 6 others injured after a shooting at a church funeral. What we know so far is this happened late last night, and as of 6 a.m. this morning, no suspects have been taken into custody. We're told of the 6 who are injured, there are 3 in critical condition, adding, according to police, there's no reason to believe there is further danger to the public. Investigators speaking to the public as all of this was unfolding, and I do want to play those remarks for you now on Live Now from Fox.
All right, we good? Yeah, thank you all. First, I want to say condolences to the victims lost in this incident and their families and those impacted by this incident tonight. We just want to continue to provide updates. We'll probably provide one more update after this and keep you informed on what we know. What we can tell you right now, additionally, from what you already have, is that you can't hear? You're good. Okay. Is that all of the victims in this incident are of adult age? And so we know there were some questions there. The shooters are not in custody. We are following all leads. Our officers are working hard, and we will work until we bring these individuals to justice. We do have dozens of individuals that were attending the funeral that we are talking with right now to see if they are witnesses, if they saw anything. So we're working through that. We're following up on all leads. And again, we are confident we will bring these individuals to justice.
Chief, did this happen inside from folks who were attending, or did someone come into the situation and insert themselves and open fire?
That is still being investigated, but the gunfire happened outside the church.
Chief, you said shooters. Is that confirmed? It's multiple?
That is not confirmed. We're looking into it.
What do you know about?
So there you have it. Last night's shooting, or yesterday's shooting at a funeral, which multitudes of people were injured, and there was people that were obviously killed. So Stay tuned with us as we continue to dive into that situation. We will definitely report more on that. And tonight, I'd like to continue what I started last night. Thank you for everybody in the chat. Let me go ahead and get that out of the way. And we'll start with tonight's situation in Minneapolis. So I want to start by showing a memorial that they have set up for the individual. And I want to say a little bit before I continue on. I want to tell you guys that my reporting on this is both sides. So it's neutral, whether you have a opinion or not. I want to have an objective view on what I'm reporting to you guys. So I'm showing both sides. So if you have obviously opinions on one side or the other, be sure to come in the chat and you're more than welcome to voice those opinions. We will not get into arguments or name calling, but other than that, you're more than welcome to come in and voice your opinion. Here we go with the memorial that was set up for the individual that was killed yesterday. So if you don't know what was going on, this is a recap of the situation. Supposedly, I got the age wrong last night. I said 77. She was, in fact, 37. Um, and she went by the name Renee Good. She supposedly was around the ICE agents and was causing a disturbance earlier on in the day. And then to the point that we saw on the video, she blocked the ICE agents from coming down the street as it appeared on the video. What ended up happening, and I will play the video here in a second, so everybody gets a good look at the situation in which I'm talking about. I will show that and give you the insight on seeing exactly what happened. So this is a memorial that was set up for this individual. Her name was Renee Good. We'll get back to the other part that I want to show you. This world in which we live, there is plenty going on around it. And it seems like there's a lot going on that we cannot control. But at the same time, you have to ask yourself, is it really that a lot more is going on? Or is it that we are hearing about it faster than we used to before social media? So there's been many people that have opinions on this situation in which we're discussing. And I'm going to start with this one right here, and then I'll go into another one. Because this is a situation that's not going anywhere. It really isn't. It's a situation that is going to intensify from city to city until we get some kind of control over the situation. And maybe if there was some kind of understanding on what ICE's job is in these cities, then things would not be as dramatic as they appear. I mean, because many people feel like they don't have to follow the law for some reason. So here we go. Here is the reaction from Fox News Channel this morning on the incident.
To a Fox News alert, the city on edge. Huge crowds gathering in Minneapolis overnight after an ICE-involved shooting. People are tense after a woman is shot and killed by an ICE agent. A warning, the video we're about to show you is graphic.
You can see ICE officers approaching an SUV that was blocking the road. The woman behind the wheel quickly backs up, and as she drives off, shots are fired, leaving her.
So we discussed this last night, and I had most of the situation totally wrong because as I was listening to it today, I didn't get the age of the woman right. I didn't get most of anything that I reported last night right, other than my own impression of what was shown there. So let me rewind that a little bit for those of you. I'm sure you've seen it multitudes of times throughout the internet, but let me show you once again. And this is one angle. There's two angles that show the situation. One of the angles that they show is the front angle from the beginning. Okay. So let me go ahead and show you this one again, and then we'll get to the front angle. Hopefully, they show that after.
You can see ICE officers approaching an SUV that was blocking the road. The woman behind the wheel quickly backs up, and as she drives off, shots are fired, leaving her dead.
Alexis McAdams joins us now from Minneapolis with the latest. Alexis.
Good morning. So as we all see those pictures and those videos, not just, on our screen, but people here locally watching all these different cell phone videos, people have questions, and some people have already made up their mind. They've taken to the streets saying that ICE murdered this woman. But DHS says the agent was acting in self-defense. They say he was hit by that woman who was trying to interrupt an ongoing ICE operation.
And I've heard in other places that the ICE agent that shot Miss Good had been drugged prior by another vehicle. So possibly, and not making any excuses for the individual, but possibly this could have been a reenactment in his mind, felt threatened, shot, and now we are where we're at. Let me know what you think on this situation.
Let's look at that video again, and it is a little graphic. Watch. No! No! Shame! Shame! Oh my God! What the? What the? You just? What the? Did you do? And so those people just happen to be right there filming because this woman was trying to block the streets, according to agents. So DHS says the woman used her SUV. She tried to, put it there on that snowy road to stop them from going around. They walked up to her. They told her to get out of the car. But when they reached to open her door of that SUV, she kind of backed up. Then she says, or they say, she put it into drive and stepped on the gas, speeding toward the agents, hitting one. That agent opened fire. So a lot of videos. I want to show you a different one, though, that I've been looking closely at. So you can see this.
Okay, I want you to pay attention to this one. It's a little grainier. It's not as clear as that video was. But as you can tell, the agent is right there in front of the SUV. I want you to focus on this area because, it's hard to see and it happens really quickly. So I want you to get your own impression of this rather than me telling you what to feel, what to think.
Different angle appears to show the SUV strike the officer who fired the deadly shots. He was hospitalized but released. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem says the woman used her car as a weapon.
ICE officers and agents approached the vehicle of the individual in question, who was blocking the officers in with her vehicle, and she had been stalking and impeding their work all throughout the day. ICE agents repeatedly ordered her to get out of the car and to stop obstructing law enforcement, but she refused to obey their commands. She then proceeded to weaponize her vehicle, and she attempted to run a law enforcement officer over.
So let me give you a little insight on the perception of law enforcement. I've never been a police officer in any capacity whatsoever, but I am a public servant in a different regard, I guess. Think about what I just said earlier about the individual having this situation, being drugged by a protester or whatever. They call them professional something I said last night. Professional something. It'll come to me. But think about this. The individual gets drugged by somebody before. This woman decides that she's going to take off from the ICE agents, which are federal police in so many regards. This vehicle is coming at that person. So instinctively, should he have shot her? Based on if it wouldn't have been in this situation, if somebody is coming at you aggressively with a weapon, which would have been the vehicle, Is he in his right to have shot her, or was she in the right? Let me know what you think. Um, Let me see what somebody in the chat says. I heard today she was either pulling into or out of her own driveway. I thought they said out, but yesterday they said she was returning from dropping her child at school. And we will get into the victim's personal life here in a minute as we listen to some more about the perception at the press conference.
So the woman who was killed has now been identified as Renee Nicole Good. We know she's 37 years old. She recently moved to Minnesota and was out there for what some people called being a legal observer, trying to see what ICE was doing. Investigators say she wasn't just here at this scene, okay? She had been walking around and following them around in her car at other locations to stop operations. Some officials say this woman was murdered by ICE. The mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey, saying they should get out of here.
They are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bull. And I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get the out of Minneapolis.
Okay, so as the shooting remains under investigation, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, who's at the center of a massive fraud investigation, is telling people not to believe what he calls the DHS propaganda machine. He says it's time for the feds to pack up.
We do not need any further help from the federal government. To Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, you've done enough. Minnesota will not allow our community to be used as a prop in a national political fight. We will not take the bait.
And Walz kept warning you guys yesterday, saying don't react, don't overreact, peacefully protest. But when you look at the video clips, they were trying to break into the federal building in one of the clips. And then also they're throwing ice and snow at those agents. Let's take a look.
And I'm going to show you some more video footage of this stuff going on with somebody else. Was there this morning on the ground, and they recorded a lot of this, and I posted a short this morning on some of this stuff. What directive or side that you're on, I'm merely reporting it. So therefore, choose your side if you wish, or just look at it as what it is. Are the agents being told specifically to interact with civilians like this? If so, is that constitutional? Are they acting on their own record based on how they're being treated? Is that protocol? Let's watch some more.
And whether the people here in Minneapolis support ICE or not, and they have questions, that's fair. They want to ask those questions, they can ask the questions. But assaulting these ICE agents, DHS says it's happening, and it's happening more often. So we're going to have to keep a close eye on it. Because of protests here, this is what the school district did. The Minneapolis school district is closing now for the rest of the week. They're saying we're just going to do it as precaution because they saw what happened in 2020 here where it was chaos. And so we're hoping that's not going to happen again. We'll be here on the ground.
Right. Democrats are great at closing schools. Thanks so much, Alexis. They're very comfortable doing that. So the kids pay the price. I'm just amazed too. We can get into the new.
And we will get back to this stream right here. I want to show you what I was talking about as far as being on the ground. Some of the footage that was actually being shown on the ground. So tell me in the chat what you think. I mean, tell me what you think regarding what you're seeing about this situation, because it gets pretty bad. It gets pretty bad. Okay, thank you for that. See if I can fix it. Is that better? Is that clearer? Is that clear? I don't know if the mic is going through the camera or if it's going through the actual mic. Can you hear me clear? Let me know if it's clear. And this is a little bit about the protesting that is being going on down in Minnesota, Minneapolis.
Quit your job. Do you guys know that Renee Good is who you murdered yesterday?
Let's go find some minorities today, huh?
You touch any one of us, you get arrested for assault. You're the only fucker touching anyone here. Back up. All you gotta do is move. Back up. Back up. Hey, fucking move.
All right, so this is DHS police. This is not Minneapolis police. This is DHS police. We are outside the Whipple building. This is the federal building where ICE is operating out of. As you see, their cars are coming out to go do their daily operations. This is a large protest that started at 7 a.m. There are hundreds of people out here right now.
Okay, is that clearer? Can you hear me now? So I hate having technical difficulties whenever I'm trying to show something. I don't even know if y'all can hear. It sounds better? Okay, that's good. That's good. I get it. I guess the input is bad on that side. So hopefully that is better. So I want to ask you what's your perception of this whole situation? Here's an interaction right here with ICE agents. Do you believe that they're using excessive force, or do you believe that they're within their rights as governing law enforcement? Here we go.
They don't care about your sister. They don't even know. On her head. If it was you or your sister or your daughter one day, hard to imagine that, but it is possible. It can happen. It did happen yesterday. It is possible. We all can be impulsive. I become impulsive all day, 2-3 times a day, so many times a day. I'm ADHD, but I work hard on me and not be impulsive. And when you don't be intentional at your job, look, so many people grieving over there. They're angry, but they're grieving a loss. They're not angry at you. You have to understand that. They're not angry at you. They're angry at the system that allows people to be impulsive. Don't hold them accountable. Does that make sense? We don't.
You know, one thing that people don't understand as far as the laws of our land is kind of like I told a group of kids tonight. And it's a simple concept, okay? It's a very simple concept. For whatever reason these days, people cannot be told no. They cannot be told they cannot do something. They will do just about anything and everything to try to convince you that you're wrong and you should let them do exactly what they want to do. Also, they will argue the point to exhaust whatever it is that you're trying to keep them from that they believe that they need to have access to. So think about that a little bit. If you've ever had children that did this when they were younger, that tried to exhaust your will or your resolve to get you to bend to just get frustrated and say, okay, just go do what you want. Go do what you want. And I believe that at a very simplistic, because I'm not being political here, I'm saying at a very simplistic view, this is what people's mentality is. Well, they feel that they have free speech. They feel that they have the right for this, they have the right for that. But at the same time, in having that right to protest and be what you're doing against whatever you feel is right in your favor, you still must follow the guidelines of the law. In order to have that right, there is a counteractive regulator, so to speak, and many times people are screaming that their rights are being violated, but yet they're violating the rights of others. Is it right to throw snowballs and break building windows and, you know, spit on these agents and be profane and all this stuff when your right for free speech is there, but there's a very fine line between free speech and violent behavior. I don't know what you feel about that, but I'm just speaking on what I believe is part of the problem in this position.
Oh, we are not against you. We know what it's like for people to be without papers here. It's horrifying for them. We want them to get help instead of being punished. And there's so many ways. You wanna hold people accountable, do that without being impulsive. There's so many more people got killed in Venezuela, and 15 years by police officers. And yesterday somebody got killed.
But yeah, if I get a chance, I'll show you guys. But yeah, so that's we do this work because it's really important for the people to see what is happening.
I mean, because basically at this point, people have lost the reality of what it is that people are fighting for. What are these people fighting for? What are they protesting? The ICE agents were originally sent to these cities to clean up the crime, to round up people that were not here on a legal basis, whether having papers, whether being here with asylums, things like that. So ICE has gone into these cities to clean these places up. What you're getting is a lot of response to exactly what people came here to this country for, is to not be told what to do, because they have this understanding that the US is about freedom, which it is. It's a democracy, right? But at the same time, these individuals come from countries where they do this countless times over and over and over. And the country basically has no democracy where they're fleeing from. They're fleeing here, trying to instill their values and their beliefs upon our country in which they came for solitude and for a different life, so to speak, as they say. But there's a lot of individuals that are breaking the law, that are here running from crimes that they committed in other countries. And I believe that, if people really understood the whole concept, then they would have a different mindset about this. if they indeed are on that other side of the fence, which, whatever side you're on. This is what I showed this morning in one of my shorts. Here we go.
Fuck you! You Nazi piece of shit! We ain't going nowhere, motherfuckers. This is America. This is the year the white boys stand back. We're taking our country back. All right? We will not back down. We will not surrender. All right? Read the history. You guys are watching this now.
Get out here. There's
out
no
here.
space for hate in
Get
Minnesota.
out here.
There's
Citizens,
no
we need
space for hate.
Patriots, we need you.
If my sister was trying to kill people,
What if that were your sister in the car? What if that were your sister in the car?
Give her the bag back.
Is that her?
Give her the
Going that
flag
way,
back.
brother.
Give her the flag back.
Give me my flag back. Give me my flag
This is
back
my
now.
flag. This is our country. Trump is your president. Chris is your king. And there's not shit you fucking liberal sons of bitches are gonna do about it. All right? All right?
get out of the situation,
Okay,
okay?
let's go. Let's go. Hey, we need to get through here. He's stuck in the fence now.
Listen, give me my flag, and I'll walk away. Like, oh my fucking
What's happening is going to happen.
Let go. That's it.
You're stuck in the fence.
I don't understand.
All right, everybody. I need everybody to get here, get to Minnesota, fight back. These people are fucking savages.
You said you'd leave.
Well, look, they're not
Let's
going to
go.
do shit. You understand me? Back the fuck
Don't
up.
push me.
Get off my
We're
shit.
non-violent.
Get off my fucking
I'm not
flag.
on your flag. You're fucking the fence,
You
dude.
commie fuck.
Hey, let's
You
go.
commie sons of
Let him
bitches.
go.
Hey, get to Minnesota. We need some patience.
Time to go.
All right?
It's time to
We'll be
go.
here all day.
It's time to
I'll
go.
be here all day. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere.
All right? We'll be back on January 17th. Patriots, get out here. Get out here, Patriots. Freedom! Freedom! You will not continue to harass ICE. All right? We're bringing your website down.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
We will not back down. We will not surrender.
Let's go.
I need some Patriots
Hey,
out here.
guys, come on.
We need some backup, boys. We need some backup.
You need to go home.
Let's go. It's time to go.
Get a coffee, man.
It's time to go. All right.
So there's a little bit on the peaceful protesting. I guess they called them professional antagonists. Maybe the word was yesterday. But look at what we're watching here on this film. Is it bias? Who knows? All we have is the film and all we have is the sound, the audio. So think about this situation. Is it peaceful at this point? Is the division too far gone? Are we too far gone in the division to ever go back? Are we too far gone? Or are we able to reconcile and get to a united front? Because for whatever reason, it feels like our country's infrastructure is being deteriorated from the inside out. And based on the influx of illegal entry, it feels like that was the plan, to kill our country from the inside out. If people can't come attack us like normal people attack countries from the outside in, well, we're going to flood your borders and we're going to attack you from the inside out. Think of all the protests that have happened over the years in these 2000s. Think of all of them. We've had countless protests about this. We've had groups form to, riot and loot in bigger cities. And there's even been police officers shot and killed in Dallas, Texas, over the sake of democracy, over people wanting to instill their will on the American people. So I ask you, not only just now, but if you watch this on replay, and once again, I'm not trying to make this political because it is about our rights, the rights of the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. It's a fine line. It's a very fine line. Are these people protected by the Bill of Rights? Are they protected by the Constitution based on what they're doing right now? At what point does it become a crime? At what point did that lady almost running over the ICE officer become a crime? I'm asking you, at what point? Or do you believe that she would within her legal right as an American citizen to not listen to authority? I'm asking you because, I'm showing you examples and I'm asking you your perception. Let's watch some more.
Where are you going safely?
You're dragging the flag on the ground, bro.
Yeah, like.
Let's fix this real quick.
Let's move along.
Let's fix this real quick.
Let's move along.
Go fix your car. Go fix your car.
Let's go.
Go fix your car.
Get your fucking hands off me, all right? Get your fucking hands off me. You guys been shoving me for a minute. Now everybody get your fucking hands off me. Now everybody get your fucking hands off me. All right? The Patriots are fucking here. Get your fucking hands off me.
Time to go.
Get your fucking
Time to go.
The Patriots will not back down. This is our country. We ain't going nowhere, you commie sons of bitches. All right? Hey! Who are you fucking?
Grab one arm, I'll grab the other. Let's go.
Is this a backlash of social media? Is this a backlash of people having their 5 minutes of fame? Because I'm Gen X, okay? I'm Gen X. I don't remember a time when there had to be a protest in order for something to change. But this seems to be the status quo in 2026, 2025, 2024, 2023. This seems to be the status quo. You must protest to be able to get change, okay? But you have to ask yourself at the same time, is this really making change better? Or are you stuck spinning your wheels in that muddy, cold, icy landscape in which they're fighting pretty much at this point in Minneapolis? Are they really making change or is it getting worse? The public officials coming out and telling the federal government and their police to get out of Minneapolis. Get out of Minneapolis. And that's what we're here for tonight, Walt. And I appreciate exactly what you just said. You said, I shouldn't be out there killing people, but maybe that's just me. That, I'm being objective, so you're free to, have your thoughts on it. Is ICE overstepping? And that's what I was asking earlier. Is ICE overstepping their police protocol, or are they protecting the American people? And the protesters, are they overstepping their protesting kind of protocol? That is the question.
You ain't bouncing me, bitch. Let's go. Here, keep your fucking hands. This is a woman, but you will get hurt, buddy. Keep your fucking hands to yourself.
Let's go, man.
Keep your fucking hands.
We're nonviolent. We're nonviolent.
Let's go.
Peaceful.
Let's go.
Staying
Let's
peaceful.
go.
Hey, Patriots, get out of here. We need some backup, boys. We need some backup, boys. Hey,
We're peaceful. We're peaceful. We're peaceful.
Everybody back up. Everybody back up. Everybody back up.
Don't hurt anybody.
Back up.
Don't hurt.
Because as you see right there, you see them step in and they put their hands immediately on these people. So it turns from a peaceful protest into now we have somebody governing another individual. So is it really policing or is it being governed based on perception? Like, I remember those ICE officers in Portland. They were being spit on, blah, 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 all that stuff. So I have to ask you, at what point are they violating the rights of these American people? Like, did he violate her right at that point? If he's a police officer or given that governing right as an officer of justice, is he detaining her? Or is he trying to settle the situation? Because at no point should you ever place your hand on somebody unless they're being violently out of control. And still, you should never put your hands on anybody. I don't know what you think about that. I don't know what you think about that. You know, like at this video where I've stopped, he obviously has his hands on her. One of my chatters said it would be fine if they were picking up criminals. 70% of arrests have no criminal activity. They're racial profiling. Okay. Okay. Like I said, everybody's opinion is welcome on this. And I really enjoy hearing different opinions because I have no opinion. I am merely just reporting this and presenting it to the audience. Nothing more. They said she was blocking them, but they had her surrounded. Okay. So at this point right here, where this gentleman right here puts his hands on her, and this one is eyeballing this one, and they're all starting to show force. Have they gone from allowing the protest to be peaceful into detaining these people for whatever reason? And what is the charge? That's what you have to ask yourself. Are they being detained merely based on their words or their actions, or did they break a law? Because if they broke the law, you have to charge them with something. I haven't seen anything other than them running their mouths, you know? I mean, to be fair, I don't know what you've seen. Let me know if you see anything different, if they break the law.
Back up, everybody. Back up. That's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to do. See this, guys? We will not back down. We will not surrender. These people will not continue to intimidate us in our country. The storm is here. When we come, one, we go all. No one can stop what is coming. Get here, guys. We need you in Minnesota. These people are fucking terrorists. These people are terrorists. They hate our country. They hate everything we stand for. Who's we? What do you mean? The people that are watching. You're European. What do you stand for? Unless you're Native American. What do you stand for? You're an immigrant too. Oh, really? Oh, really? Oh, what a pretty guy.
This is Concord land. This is Concord land, buddy.
Yeah, that doesn't make any very fucking
This is Concord land. Patriots, get out of here. We need to back up. And all you liberal commie motherfuckers, keep your hands to yourself or you're gonna get hurt today, all right? We executed one of you yesterday. We executed one of you yesterday. You understand that? We executed one of you yesterday.
Don't get hurt. Don't give them the press. You're just talking to white supremacists.
You guys keep playing stupid games.
Okay, so I'm showing you, based what this cameraman that was there in Minneapolis filming all this. I'm showing you this based on what he was saying, what you're hearing in the audio, right? So you tell me, is this a peaceful protest? Oh, I've never been to a protest. I've never been to a protest. All the protests I've ever seen were in the 60s, where people were getting beat down by the police. They were getting water hosed by the police. It is peaceful. What is wrong based on what they're doing? What is wrong with what they're doing, if anything? They're vocalizing their civil liberties, right? They should be able to speak openly in public about how they feel about certain situations. If it's peaceful, then it needs to be peaceful, where you have the voice. People get angry about the situations in their lives on a daily basis. Does that ever give you the right to go and destroy other people's property or even to attack law enforcement who did not provoke you first? And I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm not talking about Renee Good here. I'm talking about all the years that we've seen this stuff go on. Does that give you that right? As a citizen, does that give you the right? If you're so angry at the situation and you call yourself a peaceful protester, does it give you the right to break the law and then to fall back behind being a protester as protected by your civil liberties. Let me know what you think about what I'm asking here. And by no means am I being political here. None.
Do not give them attention. You guys keep playing stupid games. You're gonna keep getting stupid prizes. You guys will continue to be killed if you keep trying to harm these men. Don't you understand that? Don't you understand that?
He's not making it any better for you.
We are here to restore law and order. Don't feed the trolls. Don't feed the white supremacists. Go film something else. Don't feed the white supremacists. Patriots, get out to Minnesota. We need to back up. Don't feed the trolls. Don't feed the trolls.
I mean, she's saying don't feed the trolls. Honestly, that many ICE agents, what is their job? I mean, we're paying their salaries as taxpayers, correct? Their job is to merely just stand there in the snow. Doing what? If they're really there to do something to protect our country, to pick up violent criminals, what are they doing at the protest? What are they doing down there? You know, if there's not an individual in that crowd that they're looking for, what are they doing there? What is their job? What's their job description? There's a lot of them there. Who's picking up the violent criminals? Because I just saw in the video about Renee Good being shot, I saw probably 4 or 5 ICE agents jumping out of vehicles. Where was the violent criminals that they were going after? Did they even detain them? Or were they too busy worrying about somebody blocking the street? These are some of the questions that I have about what's going on in Minneapolis. Let me know your thoughts.
God bless you. Thank you for what you're doing for this country. The Patriots and the people have your back, all right?
You got your ad in.
I'll talk to you guys soon.
You got your ad in. Get out of here.
God bless you
You
guys.
got your ad in. Let's go.
Patriots, get to Minnesota and get a hold of me. I am a Patriot. Get out of here. Shut your mouth, faggot.
As you see right now.
Well, I know what your personal problem is, pal.
And I stand with the Patriots across this
He
country.
is not a patriot.
The storm
Don't
is
give
upon
him
us,
B-roll.
everybody. The
Do
storm
not give him
is
B-roll.
upon us.
You do not want to give him B-roll.
Twitter, the
Stop
storm
feeding
is
the trolls.
upon us. Donald
Stop
Trump is
feeding the
saving us. The
trolls.
golden age has
Stop
begun.
feeding the
Well, like I said a while ago, to have the right to speak, to have that constitutional right of free speech, we also must, within the law of society, be within these realms of not breaking the law. You can say anything you want. You can protest as you wish. And there are peaceful protests where people don't get injured, where they don't get ran over or fight or anything like that. There have been protests like that. But it's sad that we see these types of protests more often than the real peaceful ones. And are they making a change? That is the goal of everything. Are these protests really changing anything? You have the president stating in a statement about Renee Good that the ICE agents were within their right. They were protecting themselves and other civilians against domestic terrorism. Was that what you saw in that video? Or was that just lip service? Was that just something to calm down the flame? Or to increase the flame, whichever perspective you believe. And let's see what another chatter has to say. I heard right before that, they arrested a parent at the school dropping their kid off. This is a very volatile time in our country, and it has been for years now.
Patriots, get out of here.
Stop feeding
Where are
the
you
trolls.
from?
Do not put him
Where are
on
you
the
from?
media.
I'm from Bay
Do
City,
not put him
Michigan.
in the media.
I'm from Bay
He's not
City,
even
Michigan.
from here. Let's go. Let's go.
Patriots
Get out
will
of
not
here.
give
Stop.
your hands to yourself.
You're the only reason he's staying. Stop.
Why are you out here? We will not surrender.
To get white
We will not back
supremacists like
down.
him out of our streets.
We will not surrender. We will not back
Let's
down.
go. Let's go.
It's time we fight back.
It's time to
everybody,
go.
All right?
Are you
These
from
are
the
everybody's a big
You
tough
got your
guy.
auto.
Oh, these people are big tough guys, so it's time to do big tough guy shit, okay?
Let's go.
This is what we do. We march.
Let's
we
go.
let them know
It's time
whose
to leave.
fucking country this is. This is conquered land. We didn't steal anything, okay? This is conquered
It's time to
land.
leave.
Don't ever
It's time
forget
to
this
leave.
is conquered land.
Are you from
Time
the
to leave.
organization?
You guys have a great day.
It's time to leave.
And honestly, I'm gonna quit sharing this video. I'm gonna go to another one. But honestly, you have to ask yourself, these individuals, they're younger, right? They're claiming peaceful protests. They're talking about their land, okay? Their land, but yet, what are you doing to add to this? Are you making our country better, or are you deteriorating it? Because if you're deteriorating it, you're not doing anything for people that come after you, your children, your grandchildren, things like that. What you're doing is you're poisoning perception. Let's watch this one about the shooting yesterday. Like I said, I'm showing multitudes of different things because that's what I believe should be done. Rather than just stay on one directive, let's show it all and let you decide.
The ICE agent who opened fire in Minneapolis Wednesday was dragged 100 yards by an illegal migrant in Minnesota last year after his arm was trapped inside the vehicle during a traffic stop.
See, so this is what I was telling you earlier. The individual that shot Renee was drugged by an illegal. So, could this been some PTSD stuff? Reenactment going off in his head? He wasn't able to protect himself there. And he was not going to let this happen to him again. That doesn't make it right. But there's a lot going on, and if this is true, then I could see why he probably chose to react like he did.
The Post can reveal. Resurfaced Ring camera footage, originally obtained by CBS WCCO, reveals what happened during the incident, which happened on June 17th in Bloomington, Minnesota.
In this video, you can see the driver take off with the agent hanging from the car, dragging him 300 feet through front yards.
The attack on the officer happened as ICE agents conducted a traffic stop on Roberto Carlos Munoz, an illegal immigrant from Guatemala with a lengthy rap sheet. Munoz refused to exit his vehicle when officers approached his car, and the officer broke the back window in order to open the vehicle from the inside.
So I ask you this, as a community watching this, okay? YouTube community. I ask you this, at what point is it legal for any police officer in whatever state you might live in, at what point is it legal for them to bust out your windows unless they actually have a warrant for your arrest? Asking you to stop. At that point, get their license number. Get any kind of identifying factors. Is it really so important that you're hanging on to the door, being drugged by this person, trying to be Superman to get an arrest? I don't know what you feel on this. Let me know in the chat or let me know in the comment if you watch this on replay. At what point should that officer have just let the individual take off and not put himself in harm's way? And maybe Miss Good might not be deceased today. But this was a precursor to what ultimately happened again.
The suspect then sped away with the ICE agent's arm caught inside. The agent was hospitalized with significant injuries to his arm and hand, requiring 33 stitches, but made a full recovery. Munoz was arrested and charged with assaulting the officer and was convicted by a federal judge last month. On January 7th, the ICE agent in question opened fire on Renee Nicole Good, killing her. Footage from the incident captured her SUV idling across a residential street where ICE agents were conducting an immigration operation when an officer approached her door and ordered her out. She then reversed briefly, then began to drive while turning to her right, prompting the agent who had moved in front of the car.
See, what was that agent doing in front of the vehicle? That's what I just asked. Does this dude have a superhero complex? Does he believe that by standing in front of a vehicle, and once again, I'm not taking sides, I'm just merely calling it how I see it. You can say what you will. At what point did this individual right here, was he in the wrong? At what point? Should he have been standing in front of the vehicle? Come on, bro. You're not Superman. You're not Iron Man. You're not any kind of superhero. What were you doing in front of that vehicle? Everybody else was around it. You chose to stand in front of it. Did you not learn your lesson before? Did you not go through retraining? Did they not tell you, quit putting yourself in harm's way? They just showed us your hospital bed photos. You're pretty drug up. You know, the illegal dragged you pretty good. Chances are, had you grabbed this woman's mirror, door, whatever, the same thing would have happened to you had you not shot her in the face 3 times. Was that instinctive based on what happened to you before? Or were you just trying to get even in a way that possibly maybe you didn't get even before? Maybe his conviction was not enough for you. Maybe you have that mentality that people got to learn when we say stop, you stop. I don't know.
Car to jump out of the way and fire 3 shots into the windshield and then the window as it passed. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem said the officer, a 10-year veteran of the agency, had acted in self-defense and was justified in opening fire, and that Good was a part of a mob of agitators attempting to thwart ICE's efforts in enforcing President Trump's immigration crackdown. The shooting poured gasoline on the long smoldering tensions between federal immigration agents and protesters.
See, peaceful protest does not mean that you're kicking at vehicles or throwing rocks or anything like that at a vehicle, in my opinion. If I was traumatized from being dragged by a vehicle, I would avoid getting very close to a vehicle that could move. If he was that level of PTSD, he shouldn't be working, especially with a gun. That's 100% right there. That's 100% right there. And I am not justifying her murder by any means. None whatsoever. I'm merely just asking the questions that many people probably have in their own cranium that want to ask. He shouldn't have been back on the force or whatever they call ICE agents. He shouldn't have been back out there.
Protesters who have fought back, at times violently, against the presence of agencies like ICE enforcing the law in their communities.
One more. Let's see what they have to say over here. Whoa, I better shut that one off. I'm gonna get really in trouble. Let me find one more. I hope you're enjoying this. I hope you're enjoying the presentation, because this is going to be the kind of platform that I'm aiming to get towards, even though I'm still talking true crime, even though I'm still talking different areas of investigative practices. I want to get away from the whole status quo. The status quo in which I was doing the platform and the channel before. I will be doing the Uvalde case tomorrow. So if you're into that case or you have been following that, be sure to do that. And here's another perspective. And I do realize that some of these news broadcasts that I'm broadcasting, they have their own agendas. They have their own narrative, so to speak. But here, let's continue to listen.
Bring in CBS News White House reporter Olivia Rinaldi. So, Olivia, we saw the president reacting to the shooting yesterday. The president maintains he actually had reporters watch it with him on a laptop, that the woman was using her vehicle as a weapon. But you heard our interview with the police chief on CBS Mornings. One of the things that the police have described to us is situations where police officers do not put themselves in a position to have to fire or discharge their weapon when somebody isn't committing a crime. As this woman, what Police Chief O'Hara told us was she was blocking traffic, but that was the only thing that she was doing at the time.
Right. Well, to that interview with the New York Times, it was pretty extraordinary that the president was in the Oval Office with 4 reporters from the New York Times when he told an aide to bring in his laptop or a laptop and show the video in slow motion. He then reacted to it, saying, "I want to see nobody get shot. I want to see nobody screaming and trying to run over policemen," alleging that Renee Good, the victim in this case, was attacking police.
Well, that's a different perspective that he's taking right there than the statement he made before. You know, at what particular point are we going to regain order in these cities without, I mean, it's bad enough that the local police aren't working with the ICE agents in many cities. They're not arresting them and having ICE pick them up down at the station. I believe that if that was actually occurring, the violent individual that they're looking for, all this stuff would be different. There wouldn't have to be ICE in the streets knocking door to door trying to find these people on their own, trying to get through the protests, whether they're peaceful, whether they're professional antagonists, as they've been called, and the local police were doing and assisting. I believe that this whole situation would be different. But who am I?
Police officers. He then said she behaved horribly and she ran him over. He later called it a terrible scene and said he hates to see it. But Vlad, to your point, the language around this as well, Secretary Noem has already called this woman a domestic terrorist. She said that there was an effort by her to attempt to block some of the vehicles that were stuck in the snow prior to the shooting, when ICE was in those neighborhoods conducting raids, conducting arrests of people in those neighborhoods around Minneapolis. And to Tom Homan and his interview with Tony last night, I know you just played some sound from it. Later on last night on X, he posted that the interview he had with Tony was before he had seen any video, and went on to say that he supports ICE and their actions and the men and women who are working with ICE, which is also quite notable because he was one of the first officials we heard from on CBS News who was urging caution until there could be somewhat of an investigation. But now we're seeing.
I agree with that too. I agree with that wholeheartedly. But for some reason, a lot of these cities refuse to work with ICE, as we've been told, to pick up these violent offenders and take them down to the jails and have ICE come and do their job. Now, if that would have happened in this regard, there wouldn't have been all those ICE agents on the street. I've heard people in my comments state, well, this was something of self-defense because there was a bullet hole in front in the windshield. And you see the caliber of that bullet hole in that front windshield. So therefore it was self-defense. Well, let's go that angle. Let's say the police officer was firing in self-defense. He would have been in front or on the side of the vehicle feared for his life, shot into it 3 times. 3 shots. How many shots does it take to demobilize a suspect? That bullet hole was about that big. If he shot her in the face with that bullet, I'm pretty sure she would have been demobilized, but he shot her 2 more times. So, at what point are you fearful for your life? And did you continue to overkill? This woman has, I'm going to read to you a little history of her, but let's let you continue to hear this video.
The administration say that this woman was a domestic terrorist, that she was harassing ICE, stalking them, and the president himself saying he doesn't want to see people get shot, but alleging that she behaved poorly.
Yeah, so Olivia, that interview that Tony conducted with border czar Tom Homan was actually very telling, and I thought very compelling. And Tom Homan, essentially what he told Tony is that he could not make a judgment based on just simply watching the video, that there was an investigation that was underway, that was happening, and once the investigation was complete, he would have all the facts at his disposal. But it doesn't seem as if Secretary Noem or even the President of the United States are waiting for the investigation. They're just out and out saying something that they believe to be true, but that the investigation is not borne out to be true.
Referring to the video that they've seen as well, and referring to the video that has been posted all over social media that everyone is viewing and reacting to, including people on Capitol Hill. We know that lawmakers have seen it and already reacted. Tina Smith, the senator from Minnesota, was on the House floor, or Senate floor, yesterday, talking about this. I believe we do have some sound from Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer as well, if we're able to play that and his reaction.
Well, I saw the video. It just turns your stomach. We need a quick and full investigation to get to the bottom of this.
Do you believe ICE should suspend their operations, as the mayor has called for?
Well, I've never been for ICE going into our cities, period. It doesn't belong there.
This clearly appears to be the result of this just months-long rhetoric against law enforcement and people encouraging that kind of violence. And so we call upon all the citizens of Minneapolis to be calm. We don't want anyone to be hurt. We need law enforcement to be able to do their jobs.
And Blythe, you can see how this is already dividing people on Capitol Hill, and this will likely continue to be a divisive issue in the coming weeks.
Okay, so there you have it, another perspective, and I'm about to let you know a little bit about who Renee Nicole Good was. All right, so here we go. Renee Nicole Good was a 37-year-old American mother, poet, writer, and U.S. citizen who was fatally shot by a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE officer in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We know that. January 7, 2026, during a controversial federal immigration enforcement operation. Let's say a little bit about who she was. She was born in Colorado. Good was a mother of 3 children, the ages roughly 15, 12, and 6. She had previously lived in Kansas City, Missouri, and recently moved with her partner to Minneapolis shortly before the incident. Her education and some of her interests was she studied creative writing at Old Dominion University in Virginia, graduating in 2020 and won a poetry prize there. Her online profile described her as a poet and writer and a wife and a mom. Her work and background: Good had worked previously as a dental assistant and at a credit union, and more recently was a stay-at-home mom. She also co-managed a small business with her partner. Her family life consisted of: she was widowed in 2023 when her second husband, a military veteran and podcast co-host, died. Her partner at the time of her death appears to have been her spouse or domestic partner. The circumstances of her death: Good was killed when an ICE agent shot her during an encounter on a Minneapolis street. She had just dropped off her youngest child at school and was driving home when ICE officers approached her vehicle during a large immigration enforcement operation. The exact details of the confrontation are disputed. Federal authorities described the shooting as occurring after she drove toward the agents, while multiple witnesses, local officials, and her family say she was trying to leave and did not pose a threat. Her death sparked significant public outcry, protests, and debate about ICE's role, use of force, and immigration policy. The city officials demanded accountability and called for a federal response. If you'd like to hear more on this, continue to tune into the channel and we will give you the updated information that we receive. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I hope you've gotten some updated information on this. So once again, my name is 12 Gauge and this is my channel 12 Gauge Investigative. I added the channel to it because I believe that gives it a different distinctive sound to it than just a fly-by-night. This is just going to report on one specific topic. I'm going to report on a lot of different things. And let me get some more comments and then we will call it a night. Actually commit a crime. A lot of them are hanging out at immigration courthouses. Judge said check in again in 2 or 6 months. ICE grabbed them as soon as they leave the courtroom. Crime, not yet a legal citizen. So whatever your thoughts or beliefs are, be sure to share that in the comments. Also, if you're not a subscriber, give the channel a chance. You just never know what you might get from the channel, information-wise. I try to get as deep as I can without crossing the line of personal opinion or prejudice, bias, censorship. I do want you to come back and enjoy the channel as you might. Thank you so much for another opportunity. Once again, my name is 12 Gauge and I am your host. Until next time, Maestro, cue that music.